Hey there hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds set video. In today's video, I'm going to be covering my absolute favorite endgame sword and shield set. So before we get too far into it, with the endgame being mentioned, I want to issue a small spoiler warning. After my intro plays, all of the monster footage, weapons, armors, decorations, and more that will be shown are from Hunter rank 40 and beyond, so if you're not yet to Hunter rank 40, I would definitely recommend saving this video to watch later once you reach that point and are ready to make some endgame sets. I also want to give a huge shout out to Capcom for granting me early access to Monster Hunter Wilds to allow me to prepare this content for you guys ahead of time. Sword and Shield is absolutely cracked here in Monster Hunter Wilds. The changes that they made in the pre-release update were massive, and I'm really loving this weapon as a whole. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So guys, before we jump straight into the set, I want to drop some prerequisite information on you guys here. So at time of recording, I have over 120 hours in the game. I've reached Hunter rank 200 and far beyond at this point, and I have over 400 hunts with at least 10 in each weapon, except at this point heavy bowgun and hammer, but I'm getting close on those. And Sword and Shield has definitely been one of my absolute favorites. The changes that they have made to this weapon are immaculate, and it is just a ton of fun, as well as being very strong. So the two sets I have prepared for you guys are both raw sets. The first will be a very high comfort set using some lifesteal capabilities as well as a skill to get us some more wounds. And the second set will be a little bit more of your max DPS high critical chance set that we're used to seeing for endgame builds. Now, I'm not going to claim that either of these are the ultimate DPS, Giga Chads, speed running, kill everything in 2 minutes type of builds. As you guys will know if you've watched any of my other videos, these are just sets that I have made that are very strong, very comfortable, and have absolutely no problems holding their own against any monster in the game. So starting off with our comfort set, I love rocking the Rarity 8 Artian weapon here, as the skill efficiency within the slots is just kind of unmatched. I have decently middle of the road attack, very high affinity, and solid blast stats. But if you're looking for something craftable, something like the Rathian or Ajarakan Sword and Shields are also great options. As far as the armor goes, we're going to be rocking 4 pieces of the Guardian Arkveld Beta, as well as the Udra Meyergreaves Beta and the Chain Charm 2. For decorations in the weapon, I think Offensive Guard is an absolute must-have for Sword and Shield, so I'm rocking a Guardian Handicraft Jewel. Then I really like Razor Sharp for sharpness management. It gives us effectively double our white sharpness with only a 50% chance to lose sharpness on any given hit, as well as another Handicraft Jewel to give me 20 units of additional sharpness. Couple that with Razor Sharp, and that makes just these 2 levels of Handicraft alone equal to about 40 units of extra white sharpness on top of our already doubled white sharpness. And then I personally went for a Blast Jewel 3 to get some extra blast procs during my hunts, but really this final level 3 slot is totally open to whatever you prefer. As far as the armor decorations, in the head we're going to slot a Chain Jewel and a Medicine Jewel, in the waist a second Chain Jewel, in the arms the last 2 Medicine Jewels and a Protection Jewel. In the waist I went for a Destroyer and Shockproof Jewel. In the legs, we have our Flare Jewel and our final Protection Jewel. However, the 2 Protection Jewels, the Shockproof Jewel and the Destroyer Jewel, are completely customizable. They're totally up to you. If you're not playing multiplayer, you don't need Shockproof. If you're not going for part breaks, you don't need Destroyer. So you can definitely throw in whatever you like here. All in all, for weapon skills, this gives us Offensive Guard level 3 for plus 15% attack when we land perfect guards, which is super easy to do with Sword and Shield, as well as my personal Blast Attack 3 for some extra blast. Then Razor Sharp 3 again for that 50% reduction in sharpness usage, and Handicraft 2 for 20 additional units of white sharpness. As far as the armor skills go, we have Burst at level 5. After attacking the monster 5 times, as long as you continue to attack the monster, you will have a bonus plus 18 raw attack, which is a pretty massive increase. We then have Flare level 5 to make wounds easier to get, as well as Recovery up level 3. And these 2 skills will couple in nicely with the 4-piece Arkveld set bonus, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We also get Weakness Exploit level 2 for free, and then the rest of the skills either come on the armor or are my decoration choices. Now, as far as the set bonuses go, we have Decimator 2 by using 4 pieces of the Guardian Arkfeld armor. And what this does is when you destroy a wound, you get about 25 to 30% of your health back. And this can be done either by just attacking the wound until it breaks or by using your focus strike. That choice is totally up to you. But if we couple this with our 3 medicine jewels for recovery up level 3, this becomes between 40 and 50% of our health back per wound. And if you destroy more than 1 wound at a time, you will get multiple healing from those multiple wounds, so it does indeed stack. This is a great way to get some health back to save you some potions. Overall, it's one of my favorite skills in the game, and the way that it couples up with Flare, making extra wounds easier to get, means you have practically infinite healing simply by attacking wounds. This set is just generally one of my favorites. I really do have a Guardian Arkfeld set up with Flare for pretty much every weapon in the game, as it just is so comfortable, and the damage is still very good with Burst being active as well as your weapon skills, so you're never going to feel like hunts are taking way longer just because you went for comfort. So this is overall a great option for any point in the endgame of Monster Hunter Wilds. Now let's go ahead and move on to the second set, which is our high raw damage DPS set. Now again, I'm going to be using an Ardian weapon here, but just like we talked about, something like a Jarakan or Rathian will fit in here totally fine if you don't have Rarity 8 Ardian weapons yet. However, with this set, we'll be swapping up the armor, going with the Guardian Ebony head and arms beta, the Arc Vulcan chest and waist beta, the Udra Myregreaves once again reappear in this set, and we have the Chain Charm 2. As far as decorations go, I rarely ever change my weapon decorations. You kind of just find what works for your weapon or set and you stick with it, and so it remains the same in the DPS set as it did in the comfort set. As far as the armor goes, in the head, we're going to slot a Mighty Jewel. In the chest, we'll slot a Tenderizer and Mighty Jewel. In the arms, we will drop in the 3rd Mighty Jewel as well as a Protection Jewel. In the waist, I put a Protection and Adapt Jewel. And in the legs, the 2nd Tenderizer Jewel and a Shockproof Jewel. Again, all of the level 1 slots here are totally up to your personal preference. However, we do need those Mighty Jewels for the extra crit that they add, so that way we can deal extra damage when we're critting, which is going to be a lot of the time. Now for skills, once again, our weapon skills are going to remain the same as what we just saw, so I won't talk too much about those. But the armor skills, we have Weakness Exploit at level 5. This gives us 30% affinity when we are hitting weak spots, and an additional 20% on top of that if we are attacking wounds, so it's about 50% affinity as long as you're attacking wounded parts. Burst, once again, for that bonus 18 raw attack, but when we couple this with 2 pieces of Ebony Adogaron armor, we get another 3 attack on top of that, making it 21 bonus raw attack after hitting the monster 5 times in a row, and this will be up nearly 100% of the time as long as you just don't stop attacking the monster. With most endgame weapons being around the 200 to 220 raw mark, this burst with 2 pieces of Ebony Adogaron is right around a 10% damage increase, and that is just absolutely insane. We then have Maximum Might at level 3. This gives us a bonus 30% affinity when our stamina is full, and Sword and Shield has some really good gap closers, so you're not having to roll all of the time. And even when you block and lose a little bit of stamina, you will still be able to recover that fast enough for your full combos. Again, all the other skills you see here either come with the armor or are just by personal choice in level 1 decorations. So for set bonuses, we already talked about Burst Boost 1, so there's no need to rehash that, but we also get a nice little bonus skill with Hasten Recovery 1 by using 2 pieces of the Arc Vulcan armor. So in my testing, whenever you hit the monster 9 consecutive times in a row, I'll show some footage in the background, but you will regain a very small chunk of health. Now, it's not, again, huge, and we're not building the set specifically for this skill, but it's super nice to have in the background, and you can actually get it to activate with a full perfect rush. So just having some bonus, little bit of life steal in the background never really hurt. It won't save your life, but these armor pieces are great. We'd use them anyway without this skill, and so it's a nice bonus to have. So unfortunately, I have been spending a ton of time in-game testing all 14 weapons, and I have not yet got to Elemental Sword and Shield to see if it's worth running, if it's good, what the best skills are. But if that's something you're interested in seeing in the future, be sure to drop a like down below. Also, definitely drop a like if the video helped you or if you're going to make this set, as it's a totally free way to support the video and let YouTube know to recommend it to other Sword and Shield enjoyers. If you're new to my channel, new to Monster Hunter, or if you liked what you saw today and you're interested in more, including more sets just like this one for all 14 weapon types, different sorts of guides, tutorials, and even more information that you didn't know you needed to know about Monster Hunter Wilds, you should definitely subscribe to the channel. Once again, it's totally free and you can always change your mind later if you're finding the content just isn't for you. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.